The yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted. Without objection, the motion. The yeas are 218, the nays.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Developing Dad podcast. Y'all know what we're going to do. So, the big, beautiful bill. Thanks to everybody that's liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thanks to everybody that will tune in later and that is tuning in now. What's going on, Brother Caleb Collins? You should just type first every time, right? Because you're always first. All right. If you could like the video on your way in, that would greatly help the engagement. I was not going to stream tonight, but my wife said you should go for it. I said, all right, baby, because I was taking a nap. I'm just going to let y'all know. But we're going to talk about the big, beautiful bill. Going to talk about some other stuff. I've got a rundown as usual. All right. We may, have to get some. Yeah, it's going to get interesting because there are people who I respect who don't like this bill. And there are people who I don't respect completely who hate this bill. Whether people who I respect who don't like it and people who I absolutely despise and don't respect who also don't like it. So I'm torn. I'm taking a wait and see approach. But it passes the House by 4 votes. All right. And then obviously it's going to pass the
nays
Senate.
are 50. The Senate being evenly divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative. The bill as amended is passed.
All right.
Let's vote. The yeas are.
So it was 50-50 in the Senate, and Vice President J.D. Vance votes tie-breaking. All right. So this is how it's going. All right. Now, there are some people who really hate this bill, and we're probably going to get some of them in the chat tonight. But we're going to look at some responses to it. But let's look at some of the wins, the professed wins in the bill. OK, now, this is from Charlie Kirk. I have some differences of opinion when it comes to Charlie's theology. But let's look at some of what he says, this one beautiful bill, what it does. Let's look at the list. All right. Delivers the largest tax cut in history for middle and working class Americans. All right. That's good. Right. That's a good thing. I like tax cuts. I know there are some who do not. Right. Some of you socialists don't like when other people's money is allowed to be kept, like they get to keep their own money, right? Y'all just what?
I just want some money.
Y'all just want our money, essentially. Y'all just want our money. We know this and we're accepting of it, guys. Okay, but calm down. The rest, those of us who actually work, we like to keep our money. All right. So we got bigger paychecks of $10,000 or more in annual take-home pay for families, right? So we're going to take home more of our money. Again, great. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. No, I'm not a tip worker and I don't do overtime. But for those who do, that's a great thing. No tax. These are the things that Trump promised. What's going on, Anthony Cristiano from Virginia? Appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you. If you tune in, if you're early enough and you tune in and you let me know where you're from, I will shout you out, okay? Before the chat gets too big. But and I can't keep up with it. But thank you to everybody that's tuning in now. We're talking about the big, beautiful bill and some of the wins that have come about because of it. Now, there are some people who vehemently oppose it, and they just oppose it because it's because of TDS. But there are some people who are more thoughtful that I actually respect who are questioning some of the bill's intricacies. And I'm trying to figure out, as someone who, I'm not a politician, and I haven't read the bill, so I have to wait and see what happens, right? Because it's enacted right now. What am I going to do? They passed it, okay? Now, no tax on Social Security, all right? I mean, you put that. Now, I'm not a fan of Social Security at all. I don't think the government should be taking our money and investing it in for our retirement, because the government has shown that it is virtually incapable of managing money well. Why would I trust them with my money? I don't. I would love to keep it. I have thousands upon thousands of dollars already in Social Security. I have no idea whether or not I'm going to see that. But for those who are collecting Social Security, why should you be taxed? It was already a tax from the work that you did to earn, right? Earn Social Security, but then you get taxed on it again, right? Our taxation system is essentially, I look at it, it's immoral. You get taxed on everything. You get taxed on your income, and then you're taxed on everything you buy, and then you taxed when you die, and you're taxed here, and you tax there, and you tax. It's just tax after tax after tax after tax, and it's all going to places where we don't have any idea where the spending is happening. The government is bloated. The government is overspending. The government is funding nonsense in other nations. I'm all for tax cuts. I'm like down to, and then people will say, well, how will the government function? They just love the boot on their neck. All right. So now, no tax on made in America auto loans. All right. So that will possibly get more people buying American made cars, or cars that are manufactured here in America. Right. So foreign automakers will most likely build plants here in order to get more money. Right. OK, so I'm just looking at this and thinking, OK, if this is what happens, I'm for it. Now, I understand. We're going to talk about some of the pushback, right? Protects 2 million family farms from punitive double taxation. I'm not as familiar with that. Permanent increases to child tax credit, supporting over 40 million families. Okay. Yes, another one, funding nonsensical wars. Amen to that. I mean, we just have so much going on, right? Right. He said, facts. I need a job. Right. That's it. Right. You got to get right. So, and that we're going to talk about that with the Democrats crying over the Medicaid cuts. I know. All right. So we've got, what's the next thing? Let's see. Yes, a vote against this bill is a vote for the largest tax increase in history. Right. They were going to tax us into oblivion. Right. That's what the left does. Right. Again, because they just what?
I just want some money.
They should essentially just use that as their slogan every time they hop onto the campaign trail. I just want some money. Zoran Mondani is the perfect candidate. He will tell you everything. He's saying essentially, I want you all's money so we can remake America in the socialist image. That's what we want. Okay. Now, so rescinds billions in Green New scam funding, right? The Green New Deal. It rescinds all of that stuff. That's great. Restores fiscal sanity, slashing deficits by roughly $2 trillion. Okay. Now there's some people are really upset about this, but they're saying that it's going to add to the deficit because they're going to spend on military infrastructure and ICE agents. And this is I guess that they're like no new spending whatsoever, but the previous administration did such a horrible job that it's going to take money to clean it up. Even those of us who voted for Trump understand that it was good. ICE agents need to be paid to deport illegals, right? So it will add some. It might. I mean, you got to spend money to fix these problems. So I would say spend the money to fix the problems and cut the money that was causing the problems. Now, whatever the outcome, I guess the difference is, let's just get this done, and then hopefully once this is solved and the border secure, because that's one of the things in the bill. Eliminates waste, fraud, and abuse from bloated federal programs. Permanently secures our borders. And I know me voting for Trump, right? That just... That's racist! I understand. That's racist. And that makes me...
And you ain't black.
Right? When you come in here for the first time, you may not know that. I'm going to mock you. Right? I don't care. We've heard this enough, right? We understand. I understand your playbook. I understand that you're going to try to associate me with Uncle Tom and Coonery and all this other stuff. No one cares. Okay, we're done letting your fear tactics and your gaslighting and your jamming and all that other stuff. Yeah, okay, great. We get it. We get it. That's it. I'm supposed to shut my brain off and not pay attention to the fact that, you know.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Right. I'm the sucker because I didn't follow the hive mind of black America and vote for a Democrat like they've been doing since Lyndon Baines Johnson said he'd had these N-words voting for Democrats for 200 years, and we're 60 years into it, 140 years to go. I understand, you guys. I get it. I get it, you guys. I'm supposed to vote for him just because that I'm supposed to just shut off my brain, right?
You're so
and just,
dumb.
And
you
just
are
be
really
really
dumb. For real.
Right? That's just, I'm supposed to follow the script. I get it, guys. I get it, right? You're gonna change my mind in here. But you can get your you know, right? If you get your, you know, just get your comments off. I appreciate it. All right. Now let's see. All right. So, all right. Deports at least 1 million illegal aliens a year. All right. Makes the largest investment in border security in a generation, right? Producing nearly 150 billion to secure our border and deport illegal aliens, right? Right? There it is, right? Oh, I know I'm uneducated, guys.
So
yes,
dumb.
I'm so dumb.
You are
I'm
really
so dumb. Right? I'm
real.
dumb. Thank you. I know, guys. It's okay. It's, right? Forgot.
I'm
Oh,
a
wait.
PhD.
Right, I'm a black man, so I'm not as educated as the most educated demographic in America, which is the black woman, right?
I'm a
right, I get
PhD.
it. Right, you get the PhD. All right. Shift the cost of adjudication in the immigration system from the American taxpayer to aliens, right? Hires 10,000 new ICE agents, 5,000 customs officers, and 3,000 border patrol agents. That costs money, right? That costs money. Okay. Funds a global dome, right, missile defense system to confront 21st century threats. All right, there you go. Okay, so we got the global dome missile because we understand that as Americans we could be under attack and we need to have a good sound defense system, which it seems like the last administration didn't want to fund. But you know, hey, all right. Now, what's the next one? Delivers the largest Coast Guard upgrade since WW2, stopping fentanyl and criminal cartels by sea. So this is another problem. All of these things I like. I like what I'm hearing here because we have a problem. Our border has been insecure. We have a lot of drugs coming across the border. How do we stop this? Well, if we don't get these, the Democrats haven't been wanting to stop it. They actually want to fund it and to keep it continually happening so that we don't, like, at some point our system would be at the breaking point. We'd be open for the globalists to, you know, remake the country in their own image. Right. And again, people are saying this is propaganda. We'll find out. Right. You can say what you want to say. We'll see what happens you can go to whitehouse.gov/OBB and see what happens. Everybody is hating the bill. But again, most of you are just Trump deranged. And so, unfortunately, we can't really trust your judgment. Everything Trump does, you hate. So who are we supposed to believe? We're supposed to believe you all, right? Who even if Trump does something good, what you all won't give him credit for it? So what are we supposed to believe, right? This is now. Let me see. What do I want? Oh, yes. Now, it modernizes our military to ensure it has resources to be ready, a lethal fighting force, right? After 4 years of weakness, right, by the Biden administration. Yes, ends Biden war on American energy and drives down energy costs. And thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Let me shout out everybody, even if you're hating. All right, I don't really care. Colin Whitley, thank you for tuning in. Google blanks, right? D. Pearson, Polar Bear Production, Fish Sticks, Odinfe Echu. All right, Brother Caleb Collins, I already know. Robert Hessman, thank you for tuning in. If you come in within the first 20 minutes, first 15 minutes, I will shout you out. Right, none of your business. Welcome. All right, Master of the Craft Network, welcome. Lewis Home Deals, welcome. All right, come in and like the video, right? All right, William Michele, okay, Freight Adoption, thank you for tuning in. Raz NTS, thank you for tuning in. All right. I don't know how to pronounce that. Paul Querrell, welcome back. All right. Jason Deinhardt. All right. There you go. Tax the rich, right? He's like, tax the rich. Right. I get it. Everybody hates it. Everybody hates the rich, except the fact that you're most likely working for somebody who's rich. Anyway. All right. Craig Musa, thank you. All right. What's going on? I mean, the rich are making this country go around. Yeah. Anyway, John Golf, thank you for tuning in. All right, we got most of the people. Unbothered, thank you for tuning in. Tim, thank you for tuning in. Curtis, welcome. Lozo, welcome. Are you Lizzo's cousin, right? Ranky, Anna Jewel, welcome back, right? You've been here before, right? Terrence Flynn, Flizzy, thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right, Fours, Vods, I'm trying to get everybody. Dominic, I said the Unbothered. We got some of these names, y'all, right? Oh, man, I can't get everybody. Okay, but I appreciate you, right? I appreciate you for tuning in, right? Okay, here we go. So, all right. Now, everybody wants, like Tyler Chicago said, you can impeach Trump 3 more times, but he's still going to be your president, unfortunately, right? And then all the scare tactics, y'all know that they're going to come in and this is what they're going to do, right?
Put y'all back in chains.
They're going to put y'all back in chains, right? There you go. Polar Bear Productions, thank you for the super chat. All super chats will show up at the bottom of the screen, and I will put them here and address them. Yes. All right. Loving Trump 2.0, right? There you go. That's what we look. And that's what we voted for. This is what we voted for, right? This is what we voted for. Okay. So we modernize the military, ends Biden's war on American energy, and drives down energy costs. Now that's a good thing. Thank you, Rick Hoke. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Kat, 123. Thank you. All right. And then unleashes domestic oil, gas, and nuclear power, restoring energy independence, which is something that's really great. Okay. Really great. All right. So that's what Charlie's saying the bill is going to do. Now, this is my concern because this has been, as a constitutional libertarian who voted for Trump because he's America first, right? This is my problem. This is what I keep seeing. Okay. Right. This is what I keep seeing, which bothers me. Okay. It doesn't matter who the president is. The national debt keeps climbing. That's why I'm frustrated. Now, I get that there are going to be some issues with, right? There'll be some issues that are going to, we have to fix from the last administration, right? Now, unfortunately, and again, there are many names that I just basically try to get my political views from wherever I get everything else, all of my morality and everything, right? So essentially, if you want to call me anything, you can call me a Christian nationalist, right? I believe, because we're going to talk about that in a second. But I'm on board with Trump fixing the problems of the previous administration. But I also need this spending to stop. Right? We've got to stop this reckless spending. Because I would love to see more fiscal responsibility and less uniparty, right, debt increasing by generation, right? I don't want each of these generations, my children's generation and then my children's generation, to be saddled with this debt, essentially. So that's what I'm all about. Now, again, we've got to fix the illegal immigration problem. Got to get the economy back online. There's some things that have to happen, right? And we're going to talk about some of the misuses of Christianity and how people try to bludgeon it. That's one of my prepared videos that's coming next week, where we've got to learn to not allow people who are ignorant of Christianity to try to interpret the scriptures for us, right? And now people keep coming in with the same, again, like I said, I'm going to have to say this every episode. I know this. People think that, Trump doesn't like me. and I'm going to do this again. I actually have a prepared. I'm working on something, a multi-action for when people say that, because they actually believe that matters. I don't care if Trump likes me. I don't wake up every morning, with a note for Donald Trump saying, "Do you like me? Yes, no, maybe, circle one," because I'm an adult, and I'm not, right.
Why are you gay?
I'm not gay, so I don't care if Donald Trump likes me. It really doesn't matter. Will he govern in such a way that makes the future for my children better? That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so you see what I'm saying, right? I know it matters to you all whether or not a politician pretends to like you, right? I know that Joe Biden didn't like me.
And you ain't black.
Right? I knew he didn't like me. I know that
I'm not
Kamala.
going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Neither of them liked me. Donald Trump probably doesn't like me because he doesn't know me. I don't care. I don't need politicians to like me. I'm an adult, right? I'm a grown-up. I know that there's multiple degrees of separation between me and Donald Trump. He doesn't think about me. But I do believe that he has what's best in America's best interest, right? I believe that he has America's best interest in mind when he governs. If I can believe that about a politician, then I'm good with that. That's about all I can expect from a politician. To dispassionately enforce the law, what's best for the country. This is exactly what we need. We need a strong leader who will not be governed by empathy and my feelings, right? Well then, oh goodness, I wonder if this policy is going to make people like me. I wonder if this is the compassionate thing to do. Oh no. That's not how you govern. That's not how you govern. You don't govern based on how well, I wonder if the people are going to like me after I do this. No, what's the bet? Again, like I said, it rolls up from the family. All of the decisions that I make, the people in the house that live with me in this house do not agree with them all the time. But they have to follow because I'm the leader. And I know this is strange to some of you all. This is strange to some of you all. The mindset that a man can lead, a man can be strong, a man can actually dictate what goes on. Anybody who dictates is a dictator, right? And you're afraid of that. I know that hurts you in your feels. It hurts you in your feels that someone can dictate to you what you're going to do. Think about that for a second. This is why we have all of these videos where people are getting knocked out by cops because you're not going to touch me. You're under arrest. You're not going to touch me. How dare you? They think they're going to shout down a police officer when they're giving them a lawful order. And then they wind up with extra charges of resisting arrest and still knocked down. But they made their point, right? They're like, oh goodness, they made their point. I'm so angry, and I got my like, guys, you are under authority, whether you believe it or not. You don't get to do whatever you want in this world. You do realize that, right? These people really think they get to do whatever they want whenever they want, and that people can't dictate to them what they can and cannot do. That's okay. Oh, goodness. All right, go outside and violate a law. Go outside in front of a police officer and violate the law. And see how quickly your freedom to do whatever you want goes out the window. Yeah. So I am interested in this coming down. That's what I want. Ultimately, that's what I want. I want government spending. I want that just go, see where it was. Even in the Jimmy Carter days, I want it to be lower than that. Okay? I want it to be lower than that. Now, let's listen to some of the responses and reactions to this bill, the big, beautiful bill. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right. 44 seconds in.
So you're telling me that if the big beautiful bill passes, I will lose everything. I will lose the bottom surgery that I have been on a wait list for 2 years. I will lose my testosterone. All gender affirming care. Gone. Just gone. And y'all are okay with that. You think that trans people shouldn't exist, so you're trying to eradicate our healthcare. I thought you cared about kids, because, like, they're about to die. Like, a lot.
Do you see this? And so, yes, I'm absolutely okay with that part of it, where we're going to stop mutilating children and trying to help them pretend to be something that they're not. I'm perfectly fine with that. But you notice the playbook. You don't want trans people to exist. Nobody's Thanos snapping trans people out of existence today. That's not what happened. This is what people think. You shouldn't exist as a human being. This is the language that they use and trying to confuse you so you can be empathetic. Well, of course, of course we want you to exist. What can we do to help you to exist? Come on. And it's the threat, right? That the children are going to die a lot. So we obviously don't care about children now. The beautiful thing about Trump's win is that people aren't being fooled by this anymore. It was a direct slap in the face to this type of rhetoric. Trump's victory. Nobody's going to be gaslit by this anymore. Sanity has been restored. This is objectively. So when people say that we need psychiatrists and that we're insane, this was objectively classified as a mental illness 20 years ago. This. And now, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Those who want to end this, we're now insane. But you see why language matters. Language matters. Because when you just ignore them and your words have no power here, these people aren't used to not being given everything they want or being able to shout you down and then you back off. Everybody, if you could like the video while you're in here, we got 1,000 people in here and only 79 likes. If you could like the video, that would help with the engagement. Thank you. And these people have been educated to think this way. The Department of Education has been an absolute success. If by success you mean the socialist Marxist playbook of indoctrinating people into this death cult of radical gender ideology, feminism, right? Again, socialism. It has been a complete success if that's what its intended aim was, because this was the playbook. This is what, so those, we may have won the physical World War II, but the ideological World War, those people came into our higher education system with a definite plan, and it's working. It's working. What's going on, brother Anthony Allen? Where is he? He the Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers. What's going on? Yes. And when I say death cult, yes, that's exactly what I mean. This does not produce life. He is about to cut off the life-giving organ that he's been given by God in order to pursue a mirage, which will effectively cut off his family tree at him. That branch is done, literally. So yes, it's a death cult. It produces nothing. It only takes. If you want to understand socialism, just understand the parasite, and you will understand socialism. They don't give, they only take. And the only way socialism will work is because if it works in this country for any length of time, it is because of the surplus that capitalism has afforded it. That's it. Because socialists don't produce. They seize. It's in the language. Seize the means of production. Right? And some people are saying his body, his choice. Sure, go for it. But the taxpayer shouldn't fund it. Our money, our choice. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Now, anyway, but the traditional mindset, trad West, right? The Western traditional mindset has created what you see around you. Yet you hate it. Make it make sense. You're on this internet because of the traditional Western mindset. Congratulations. All right. Now, so he said, but the fear tactics, that's what they're going to do. Now, so people like this hate it. And I'm like, but then people who I respect, like Rand Paul and, Massey, and I'm like, but these guys, I've been rocking with these guys for a while, and they've been calling out Democrat spending. Why would they all of a sudden, not call out Republican overspending? Rhinos have been, so I'm hesitant, but I'm also like, I've given Trump the benefit of the doubt so far. So I'm going to give it to him this time. We're going to see what happens. Hopefully we fix all of these problems that the last administration, we'll call them administration, but they were a regime, right? But and so many people that, like this was another, I'm so conflicted because, Obama he put Obama, he came out against the bill, and I'm like, oh man, that's another feather in Trump's cap for me. Man, I just can't. Right? Barack Obama sent out a call to action against Trump big beautiful bill. Yeah, urging voters to call the representatives and tell them to vote no. Right? And I'm like, I really, I'm just, Deporter in chief, I know. So I'm just like, man, Obama hates it. That means I have to love it. That means I have to love it. Oh man, y'all can't do this to me. You can't stop. I'm trying. I'm trying. Right? I'm trying. I'm trying to figure this out. Right? I have reservations about the bill, but man, goodness, I really want. Oh boy. So then we have this situation here. I had some TikTok clips that I wanted to look at, but they weren't as interesting, right? I want to hate it, right? But let's listen in, because Medicaid apparently is going to
Medicaid.
Yeah.
My husband,
Hold
me.
on. Let's see. Hold on, let's go back. All right.
My whole house is on Medicaid. My husband, me, our baby daughter. Okay, we're all on Medicaid. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to have the birth control in my arm that I have. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to have the antidepressants that I have at no cost to me. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to go to therapy to continue to be the mom I am to the 3 kids and 2 separate houses that I have to do. Without Medicaid, my daughter wouldn't be able to go and get her vaccines and go and get all of the things that she needs as an 18-month-old baby. Without Medicaid, my husband wouldn't be able to go and get the medications that he needs and the treatment that he needs for his disability. Without Medicaid, not a single person in my house would have health care. We are low income. Our only income is my husband's SSI. We're on food stamps. We use food pantries. Okay? Without Medicaid, we would never be healthy. And for us, it's not even like body, it's all mental. For my husband, for me, and then we have a baby who needs Medicaid for vaccines, who needs Medicaid for... I already have 2 children who are diagnosed with autism. So what if she ends up getting diagnosed with autism? We need Medicaid. We need Medicaid. And if you live in America, everybody deserves free healthcare. That's it. I just love you. Have a good day.
You can't make this up.
So almost I think everything she says is easily refutable. Let's go back through this and listen. Oh, goodness. All right. So the birth control in her arm. That's not our problem. You don't deserve, but you could just practice natural family planning. There's so many condoms. I mean, you don't have to have that. So strike one. Let's keep going through. You got the birth control in the arm. Okay. Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to have the antidepressants. You might be depressed because it's a blessing to work and to do. Oh, goodness. It could also be weight related. There's so many. These people have just assumed that all of this is normal, to be on birth control, to be on antidepressants. This is normal life. So essentially you want to live unhealthy. We could see, I'm going to assume that you're overweight and that your husband's overweight and that your children are overweight. Most of the problems could be solved by you all eating healthier and becoming more active. You have children with autism, but you're fighting for vaccines, for them to take vaccines on Medicaid. And we're just like, well, the research between vaccines and autism, you're essentially, oh goodness. Her husband has a disability. I wonder what that disability is, right? What are you all eating? You're on SNAP. Because the last time, like whenever I go, so we shop at Walmart, and people talk about these food deserts, but there are Walmarts I'm pretty sure she lives close to one. And you can decide what to put in your cart. You can decide what to put in your cart. Now, when I go to Walmart, we shop in the green section, right? They would tell our kids, shop the U, right? If you want to be healthier, shop the U, right? Not the stuff in the middle, right? Fresh produce, fresh food on the outside. Shop the U, right? That's what they would tell the little kids. And so you could be healthier even at a Walmart. But a lot of people, they go into that little middle part, and the cakes, the pies, the processed food, the sugary treats, the drinks that constantly have their kids' noses running with all the blue dyes and sugar. I'm pretty sure if you looked at her receipt, her Walmart receipt, go look up her Snap account and see what she's purchased. You'd find a link to all of the problems that she's experiencing. Maybe not all of them. But a vast majority of her problems could be solved with healthier eating and a healthier lifestyle. So, and then her husband's disability, I'm pretty sure, 3 kids, separate houses, Medicaid, her vaccines, which again, ma'am, come on. Old baby without Medicaid. Her husband, medications that he needs to, treatment that he needs for his disability. I would love to know what her husband's disability is. Right? Right. We're a low income family. Husband's SI or on food stamps. But here's the thing. There are, this is the insanity that's going on. It's never been easier to make money in this economy. You can make money from your house sitting in front of a computer. You can make money from your phone. You could use AI tools to make money. The only income you have is you could do virtual customer service. You could do all kinds of things. You can do all kinds of things to make money. You don't have to. This video here, if she would take the time to use that phone instead of complaining about not being able to get Medicaid, and take the phone and actually start to do something productive, my goodness. The Bible says if a man doesn't work, he does not eat. We flipped it on his head and say, well, if you get fat enough, we'll pay for everything that you need. Pay for everything you need. Pay for everything that you need. Wow. Whew, boy. Sometimes it's unbelievable that the big beautiful bill is actually, it's causing people to, yeah, right. I mean, there's so many jobs out there, virtual jobs that you can, that you can do. Yeah. Any of my long-term subscribers want to tell people what 3 jobs I have so that people that are new can hear, right, what it is that I do for a living. All right, let's listen in. Here we go.
I think we need restrictions on, if you're over the age of 21 and you go to Disneyland or Disney World and you don't have children, straight to Alligator Alcatraz, El Salvador.
But have you ever been to Epcot?
I'm just saying, this is weird. And talk about people that get in the way of things. You trying to take your kids there and you got these weirdos walking around? I'm just saying.
Go to Epcot. It's great for grown-ups, okay?
I think we need...
Right. Now, this is... That's funny, right? I just thought that was funny, right? Because the adult Disney thing, people are really tired of it, right? So, yeah. Now, alligator, right? Now, yeah. So, yes. Right. Oh, if y'all could get the likes up, right? We were at one point, we had 1,000 people in here. It was pretty awesome. All right. But, yes. All right, well, come on. Bring it on. Yes, people say they're coming for me next. Bring it on. All right, so you lost the gender affirming care, the bill. All right, but Trump keeps winning, right? Trump keeps winning. What's going on, brother Chuck? What's happening? Right? Now, and for those of you that want to know, yes, double tap the screen like Paul says. Double tap that screen. Love it or hate it, right? For those of you that want to know, that wonder what I do for a day job, I'm a software engineer, have been an independent software contractor since 2015, have been a software engineer since 2000. And then I also teach music part-time. I have over 40 students. Let's just say that, right? So I teach 5 different instruments. And I also previously was a worship leader at the church. But yes, now some people were wondering, right? So there you go. Now you can keep on lying if you want. You always lying? And I make a little money on YouTube too. So there you go. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you for tuning in. Yes. Thank you, Brother Chuck. See, that's what I'm talking about, right? That's what I'm talking about. I've worked for some very prestigious companies in the past, but you know, I keep that, right? Yes. All right. Yes. We got the people that are crying in the chat, right? They just name calling, right? That's all they can do, right? So I just, let them have their fun, right? That's what the comments are for the trolls to get their, to get their comments off and feel good about themselves, right? That they came onto a YouTuber's channel and, right? There you go. Right. You notice what I never do? You're never going to find me spending an hour and a half trolling a YouTuber. I'm never going to do that. But let's talk about We're not trolling. As they troll, right? All right, so let's listen in now. CNN is continually talking about Trump's victory.
Here are some things that have happened. Gas prices down. Economic indicators are decent. Brand new jobs report shows that's much better than expected. And border crossings are down. And now Trump's mega spending bill looks like it's going to be passed by Republicans. How do you Democrats fight back with the wins that Trump can tout?
Well, it depends on how you define wins, Sarah.
Here are some things that have happened.
She had to think about it for a second. It depends on how you define wins, right? You guys are losing and he's winning. The things that he wants to get done are getting done. You guys are trying to stop it. You're not able to stop it. Thus, hence, therefore, whichever one you want to use, he's winning. Gas prices down, economy booming, jobs up, border secure. BBB will pass. Crickets. Right? Yeah. All right, we talked about that already, but I'll answer it again. Right, redefining terms. That's what they do. That's what they do. How do I feel about the proposed cuts to Medicaid and SNAP benefits? I'm perfectly fine with that. Yes. Perfectly fine with those things being cut. I don't believe in those programs being used and milked. I as a taxpayer, don't want to pay for them. Now, I'd like to keep my money in order to give to charities for people that I could actually see. See, I actually like to donate to charities and donate to things that my church is doing so that I can be a part of it, of actually handing out the food at the food pantry, of giving to different missions of the church. It's how it's supposed to be, right? Not my 30% of my money being taken away from me and given to God knows what by God knows who. Well, we know who. It's the federal government to do God knows what with it, to cut off people's genitalia and give them gender affirming care. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Christian charity is supposed to be done where we know what we're doing, right? We need to know who we're helping. And we definitely don't want to pay for nonsense surgeries that don't help anyone. You're not helped by transitioning. Right? Well, they're mental. We're going to affirm mental illness now. That's what we're doing. That's what we do now. We're just affirming mental illness. Okay. That's what we do. Okay, guys. There you go. That's great. That's great. Let's keep affirming mental illness. All right. So, and then I forgot to mention this on the last episode, but Donald Trump President Donald J. yesterday on Truth Social, it is my great honor to announce that I've just made a trade deal with the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, right? After speaking with Thao Lam, the highly respected General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam. It will be a great deal of cooperation between our two countries. The terms are that Vietnam will pay the United States a 20% tariff on all goods, right? So this is another win. Yeah. It's another win, right? Energy prices down. Gas prices down, right? I saved that in my bookmarks too, right? On Truth Social, right? Secures the border. Come on. Gas prices, 4-year low. Come on. Remember when they were high, it wasn't Biden's fault. So many geopolitical complexities that go into the price of gas. You can't blame that on Joe Biden. But when they went down, Joe Biden did a great job of bringing gas prices down. And it's like, but now Trump brings them down, and they're like, well, there's so many geopolitical complexities. We can't give him any credit for that if they're high, right? Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Again, because this is the Democrat, theme song, right?
Why you always lying?
They're always lying. They're always lying, right? They're lying in my chat right now. That's all they do. That's what they know, right? That's what they know, right? That's all they know. Lies and insults. That's all they got, right? If they didn't have double standards, they have no standards at all, right? This is what they do. This is what they do. Okay? And we're continuing to be impressed by what's going on, right, at the Gator Alcatraz. Okay, let me do this. Where is it? Yes, I'm going to bring it here. Hold on one second. Let's do this. Boo. Right? He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing, right? He's doing his thing. Listen to what he says.
Well, I think it's funny, at least. All the illegals, they still think we're stuck with them. No. You're about to be stuck in here with us. Clock is ticking. Could be a soft tick, could be a loud one, hard to say. A word of advice, though, I'd scream if I were you. Skedaddle. Vamoose, leave while you still can. Alligator Alcatraz is just the beginning. Next up is Shark Shawshank. Sharks, very dangerous, not the most reasonable of beasts. Some of you have seen the Discovery Channel and know what I'm talking about. Shark Week, very exciting. We'll live stream escape attempts, justice and economic stimulus in one. Rikers with grizzly bears is an option as well. We could use a snappier name, but the concept is strong to very strong in a big way, quite frankly.
All right. So, again, now, this is well, people say he's not strong, right? Okay. Now, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. All right. This is Vladimir Putin. Okay. But listen to him. All right. Vladimir Putin. Please don't be angry. I understand. Then we can talk more.
Ну, так неловко заставлять себя ждать, там сейчас обидеться еще. Спасибо вам большое, удачи. Пожалуйста, не...
Right? Now, y'all tell me, anybody in here that speaks Russian, do y'all know that's exactly, is that what he said? Right? Grizzly Bear Bayou, come on, going down the bayou. Well, the bayou, we got gators too. Now, our gators are not as amazing as the gators in Florida. Those gators are gangster gators. But, we got some gators down here too. Now, but he doesn't want to keep Trump waiting because he don't want to offend him. Imagine him saying something like that about Sleepy Joe, right? Imagine him saying something like, I don't want to keep Joe Biden waiting. He wouldn't do that. Because he's like, Joe Biden wouldn't even know whether or not he was there, and he wouldn't remember it the next day. So we got bad man, right? Vladimir Putin wants Donald Trump's respect and doesn't want to offend him. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Right? It's good to be strong. It's good to be, right? To be feared as a country. Yes. Yes, we like this. We like this. We like America being on top. America first. We're number one. We're number one. Come on, it's America's birthday tomorrow. Y'all gonna make me pull out my guitar and sing the Star Spangled Banner or the America the Beautiful. Come on. Sing happy birthday to America. Right? July 4th, 1776. Right? An actual holiday, not Juneteenth. Some made up nonsense that was only celebrated in Texas for the vast majority of its history. Now it's a federal holiday. Goodness. Yes. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Y'all, we'll see. We're going to keep looking at this. All right. So I'm not going to look at those big, beautiful bill response because there's a lot of those. But we're going to move on to some, goodness. I think some of y'all will like this. Some of you may hate it. We'll see. But there's some feminism fatigue going on, right? Yeah. There's a right? And you see the gaslighting, right? You're a black person that says that Juneteenth isn't real. I just admitted that it was celebrated in Texas. It's a real holiday for Texans. But why should I care? Why should I care? When the Emancipation Proclamation, we were free. So my great grandfather received freedom officially under the law on that day. Not when somebody in Texas, because that's the hive mind, right? If every last person don't know that they're free, then we all ain't free. I'm like, well, actually, no. If you know Louisiana and New Orleans history, you understand about the free people of color. You know that Louisiana and New Orleans has some very different, nuance in history and learning your history. There's a museum here where I live, the Free People of Color Museum, where you can go and learn about the people in Louisiana and in New Orleans who were freed people of color well before the Emancipation Proclamation, who were very rich and had great influence in the culture here in New Orleans. So if you would actually know your history, people, so here in Louisiana, we're like, well, okay, Texas, but that's not our problem. We live here in New Orleans. And we want to know about what was going on here. Yes, nationally, Emancipation Proclamation. Yes, but again, we don't want everybody. We don't demand that everybody celebrate every local New Orleans holiday as a national holiday. Right? What's going on, J Ram? There you go, from the West Bank. There you go. All right. There you go. Now, let's talk about this. Okay? This is a conservative influencer. And this is one of the problems with American conservatism, is that too many feminists, like the Nancy Maces and the Tommy Laurens, and they litter the conservative movement, right? Okay? Conservative movement. Christless conservatism is a pathway to liberalism. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but there's also, that goes across too many different things of like rights that we should have. And it's just ridiculous. I don't even really believe, like, yeah, okay, would we be more conservative? Sure. Would I risk like all females not being able to vote? No. And I don't really think females believe that. I think they say these things online to get male validation.
Savannah, are you a pick me? Are you doing pick me stuff? I'm married. I don't need to be picked. I've already been
Yeah,
picked.
but every single thing you say is literally appealing to men and usually hating on women as well, which is funny because I would think if I was in a happy marriage, I wouldn't even do this. Like, I would just go out and just be happy and do my thing. I think the advice you give to women is awful. I think it's at a detriment to them. And I don't think it comes from true happiness. And I think it really does. Yeah, but there's also, that goes across too many different things of like rights that we should have. And that's just, it's just ridiculous. I don't even really believe, like, yeah, okay, would we be more conservative? Sure. Would I risk like all females not being able to vote? No. And I don't really.
So you see that a more conservative America would be a better America. She admits this, and she still wouldn't repeal the 19th. This is what we're dealing with. Even in conservatism. If you go to TPUSA, you'll find loads of feminists littering their speeches, and we got the Nala Rays and all these other people. They're feminist. Tommy Lauren is a feminist. Nancy Mace is a feminist. Oh, I'm all about repealing the 19th. I'm 100% behind that. If tomorrow, if it were on the voting block, I'd vote repeal the 19th. Yay. Because it is overwhelmingly, let me see if I can find that. There's a graphic that says that if it was an all male vote, the whole country would be red. And America would be better, I believe, as a more conservative place. That's not far-fetched. So why is that a surprise? We want a more conservative America. Women tend to be feminist, and they're voting against the best interests of the nation, which was the playbook. Why wouldn't we want? And if you're, she says, well, yeah, will we be a more conservative country if it were only men voting? Yes, but I wouldn't want to sacrifice the women's right to vote for a better country. That's essentially her argumentation. So they want their cake and to eat it too. They want cut off their nose. That's what they want, right? But these people are being platformed. Why? Because conservative simps will praise her, right? They watch the Tommy Laurens. They watch the Megyn Kellys. They watch the Nancy Maces. They watch these women. I don't watch those shows. I'm not interested in that. This, to me, is, and I get it. They're probably thinking that, well, we have to combat what the left is doing by doing the same thing just with conservatives. So they're propping up faux conservatives like her, right? Because once you get them talking, a person who's really great at highlighting their nonsense is Andrew Wilson. And Andrew and Rachel, they do a great job of highlighting the nonsense of conservative feminists. Right? So, yeah, unfortunately, we have so many of them. Right? Now, this is another sad situation. You actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to this one because I had it in the queue yesterday, but we're going to talk about this one. This is another crazy feminist, a famous crazy feminist. All right? Yes, here we go. All right. Charlize Theron.
We're moving backwards fast. Immigration policy is destroying the lives of families, not criminals. Women's rights are becoming less and less every day. Queer and trans lives are increasingly being erased, and gender-based violence is on the rise. We're moving back.
So again, we're moving backward, right? Because progressive progressives believe that we need to give everybody the rights that they deserve. And these are unearned privileges. That's what they're calling rights now. You didn't earn anything. You haven't done anything to deserve this, but you believe that you're entitled to this. So trans lives, these are the lies that they tell. Trans lives are being erased. How? Because they're not able to get gender affirming surgeries and the gender affirming care and the testosterone and all of these other things on the taxpayer's dime. If that's what you mean by erased, what is that? They redefined the term erased. Nobody's erasing you. We don't have a pencil sharpener. We don't have a pencil, and we're not like, bye bye trans lives. You're still allowed to live. Illegal immigrants, they're here illegally. They need to be gone. I don't understand what else she says, right? Fast immigration policy, destroying the lives, not criminals, right? Women's rights becoming less and less. The right to do what? The right to do what? That's the question, right? A man couldn't make that decision, right? Well, it's a woman's body. Actually, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's a separate body that's inside of your body, right? Learn the difference between your body and another person's body. Okay. All right. If the destination is a cliff, we shouldn't progress to it. We should stand still. It's stupid to go off of a cliff, to keep progressing if the destination is off of a cliff. And it's stupid to grow if you're going from a healthy weight to morbidly obese. Right? Okay, let's grow. Become morbidly obese, fat, and unhealthy as a nation because of all the bloat and nonsense that we keep packing into the country. We keep paying for stupidity. No. We need to stop paying for people's delusion. You don't want to don't rack up debt that you can't pay for. That's real life. Don't get a useless degree in paper towel studies and then wonder why you can't get a job. Get a skill, a marketable skill that people will pay for, and then you won't have to worry. Companies come to find me. I have people searching me out. I get constant emails about positions that people want me to take, making well into the six figures, because I have a marketable skill that I've honed for 25 plus years that makes me a lot of money. But if I didn't have that skill, why would I be sitting around complaining that no one wanted to hire me? It's a contract brokered between the employer and the employee. I have a service and a skill that they need. They hire me to provide that. We negotiate a rate. That's how things have been happening for the vast majority, and unless it was slavery. So why would I complain? Go and get a job. And life is going to be hard. It's hard sometimes. It really is. Nobody's discounting that it's hard. Nobody's discounting that the policies of the left and rhinos have made it more difficult for this generation to do what our parents' generation did. Or because my generation, I'm almost 50 years old, but I'm talking about the younger generation than me. Nobody's saying that it won't be hard. But if you keep parroting the same nonsense that got you here, socialism is the reason why the socialist programs, the socialist, I'm blanking on the term now, the social safety net is the reason why we're at a budget deficit, why we have this debt. It's a combination of the war machine, right, which we're trying to push back against that as well. And then these social subsidies and the illegal immigrants coming in and everything that you all are complaining about that's made life harder for you in that generation. You're continuing to support it. It's nonsense. It's the level of cognitive dissonance that you support the thing that's absolutely that the cause of you not being able to do the thing that your grandparents did, to buy a house, start a family. That looks like a daunting and impossible task to you today because you're supporting the socialists who've actually made it harder. And instead of rejecting the teaching, you double down on it. We need more. Give everybody what they want. Print up as much money as possible so that everybody can have whatever they want. That's not how an economy works. And I know you've been brainwashed to think that, but that's not going to help you. Flip it. Flip your thinking. Because this is not the America that you're talking about, that where you want to be able to afford a home and start a family and do all of these things. That was possible when there were less socialist programs. We had a smaller deficit and government was smaller. The larger government's gotten, the more debt we have, the more taxes we have to pay, the more. Make the connection. Make the connection. It's not that hard. All right. So, oh wait, I'm on the wrong rundown, y'all. So I had to go back to that one. I wanted to talk about Charlize. All right. Now let's look at this one. This is more feminist nonsense, right? Check this baddie out. Avert your eyes, gentlemen. I don't know, but she's essentially telling y'all that none of her bikinis. This is the not like, okay, body positive. If you want to be whatever, go ahead, be body positive. But this is the insane thing. None of my bikinis will be kid friendly this summer. Teach your kids about baddies. Okay, let's do this. Baddie, Urban Dictionary. Hold on a second. We're going to find the definition, right? Because we want to make sure. Baddie, okay? Here it is. There we go. A baddie. A female who can hold her own and take care of herself. She is very pretty and independent. A baddie is a bad girl who is always on fleek, slaying the game most of these times, right? Something of super attractive. Who's super attractive. A girl who is hot AF. Can be slim thick, but don't have to be independent, hold her own. Basically a bad B. This is the feminist nonsense. It's a fleek makeup. Okay. Maybe depending on her definition of baddie, but I'm going to go on. But this is what feminism teaches. And again, there are people who are calling this out. Like, this modesty has gone out of the window. Body positivity has created this mindset that, she's she's probably in the 40s when it comes to BMI, 40s, maybe 50. I don't mind, she can wear whatever she wants as long as it's legal, right? I'm just talking more about the fact that she's delusional. She's not a baddie. The delusion is the issue. She can eat whatever she wants to eat if she pays for her own health care and doesn't want to live off my dime like that other lady on the Medicare. Do you. That's what America's about. Do you? I don't care. As long as I don't have to pay for your health care, and as long as you're not asking me to support you in any way, financially, emotionally, whatever, wear whatever you want. I don't care. But the delusion is what's causing, this is a symptom of the cultural rot that we're experiencing because of feminism. Because other women are going to get into her comments and tell her how bad she looks and how amazing she is. And, they're going to lie to her, because if she's a baddie and she looks like this, they're like, well, come on. I know I am. If she's a baddie, I know I am, because I'm like a third of her. And that's what they're thinking. Okay. Now, more like Becky. Where's my other member? I saw Caleb post something. Okay. Where is it? Caleb, you posted. Yes, tragic. I know. Tragic, brother. I mean, this is insane. And it crosses ethnic lines. It's not that's why I said feminism is a cancer that needs to be, because again, she's not the only one. We got another one. I'm just, right? This one here. Okay. Well, this is what she's going to show. She's going to show you what she ate today.
What I ate today as a baddie.
As
Good
a
morning,
baddie.
baddies. Creamer.
We're starting out the day with a cupcake. Got some Olipop. Got these from Costco. We're gonna drink grape. Ah, there's a ladybug. Delicious. Lunchtime. Protein style. Mm-hmm. A donut for the road trip. Blueberry cream cheese muffin. It's moist. Gas station dinner per corn dog. So dry.
So I did a video on the American evangelical church is plump, because American evangelicalism, essentially, the numbers aren't different in the church, where we should be practicing self-control. We should be teaching people how to live the Christian life, right? Jesus says when you fast. He doesn't say if you fast. He equates gluttons and drunkards, just like the Proverbs do. There are 7 instances of the word gluttony in the scripture, and 5 of them are tied to drunkards. Overeating and over drinking are mixed. They're tied together. We have a 42% obesity rate in America, and we are claiming to be a Christian nation. And then the Christian church doesn't teach about gluttony, doesn't call it out. Right. It's a shame. Right. They can be models right. They're full of gluttony. Right. With no self-control. We have a self-control problem in this country. And I mentioned that in the video. And the Christians in the comments basically are disagreeing with Jesus, because he talks about self-control and gluttony and fasting. And his apostles censured gluttony. We don't, and they emphasized self-control, and they emphasized understanding what went into your body. Now, it doesn't defile you, but if you have no self-control, then how are you exhibiting the fruit of the Spirit? Now, this woman, if you look at the tweet, and Leonardo Joni, she says, I remember when fat girls used to pretend they just ate salads. We all knew they were lying, but we appreciated the effort. Right? We appreciated the effort of y'all lying about just eating salads, but everybody knew that was a lie. because essentially we can't be with you all the time. We know that you don't, because my wife and I were talking about this. There are only a couple of reasons why someone would gain weight without being without the root cause being gluttony. It could be medications that could be causing you to keep weight on. And then for women, pregnancy. Now, nobody's discussing pregnancy when we say someone being overweight. Pregnant women are expected to gain weight. If you're on certain medications that cause you not to be able to lose weight, that's an expectation. But then everybody talks about glandular problems, and they're always making excuses for the fact that they're taking in more calories than they are burning, and they are eating poorly processed foods or overly processed foods, and they have a poor diet, and no one wants to just say that true thing, right? Now, for fat men, people are talking about fat men. Yes, fat men exist. But guess what? Men are more likely to tell you, say, bro, you fat. You need to lose some weight. Let's get to the gym. Whereas if this woman goes online, people are going to affirm her as a baddie. In her mind, she's a baddie. In most fat men's mind, if they're not rich or powerful and the like, they're not going to, they're actually going to be very, very humble most of the time. Rich and powerful, because they understand that they're fat. They're fat. Like when I was gaining weight, I'm like, man, I'm too large for my size. My BMI was higher than I wanted it to be. I was calling myself fat all the time. And I was only like 210 pounds. So in my mind, I'm expecting that people are going to call me fat because I'm already looking at myself as fat, and I'm not going to get any praise from the internet. Nobody's going to tell me, hey guy, you're looking really good today. No, guys are going to tell me, and this is what I played sports. Guys are merciless, right? Guys are merciless. They will let you know. What's going on, bro? Like, why's your belly hanging over? When the last time you saw your feet? Or when is the last time guys will make you feel like garbage if you're too overweight, right? But these women will go online and they will get praise from other women, and everybody will tell them how bad they are. Yeah, exactly, Caleb, right? Yeah, I felt fat at 167. I like to stay between 140 and 150. Exactly. Right? Yeah. So, and the Uncle Pumpkin person, I just said when I was growing up. So maybe you missed that part. I don't know. Guys will be really hard on each other. Maybe they do compliment each other now. I don't know. Right? Maybe your generation does. Now, how does this affect us? Well, because when she has diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and the like, guess who she's going to want to pay for her health care? Come on, guys. It really is that simple. It really is not. I mean, y'all should be able to put two and two together. My goodness, it's not that difficult. That's the point, right? That's the point. My goodness. Yeah. So now we've got some, what's that? Feminism fatigue. We're going to move on to another topic, right? Oh, let me see if I can put this one in here. Where is she? Yes. Yes. All right. Let's listen in. Now, this kind of goes with the same situation, but we're gonna talk about this. All right. It's our favorite Somalian first politician. All right, let's listen in.
dad badan ay soo wacay oo waxay leeyihiin ilhaan dawladda Mareykanka inaan la hadasho.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, she's now. So this is what she's basically saying. I'm gonna give you the quote because I forgot she was speaking in her native tongue. But she's basically saying the U.S. government will do what Somalia tells them to do and nothing else. My goal is to protect Somalia's interests from inside the U.S. Congress. Yes. Appreciate you. Yes, I thank you. I thank you. Yes, if you could, do what Dustin says, right? Do what Dustin says. And when we were talking about Trump, we had more engagement because, Trump is a lightning rod. People love to hate him, right? But now we're talking about other people who aren't as interesting, and I'm not as interesting as Donald Trump. So, but why do we have Somalian first politicians in the United States government? Why do we have Israel first politicians in the United States government? Why do we have anything but America first politicians? Shouldn't be French first, shouldn't be Israel first, Iran first, Russia first, Palestine first, Ukraine first, America first and only. There should be no politician that is allowed to come into our governing system and have interests that do not align with the Constitution of the United States of America. It's as simple as that. Now, why can't we expel people like this? I promise you, reanimate the founding fathers. They hear anybody talking like this, guess what they would have done? You're out of here. You're out of here. They would have, if they would have heard some of the things that these politicians who claim to be American are advocating for, they would have been tried for treason. We, on the other hand, promote them, praise them, and give them larger platforms to promote their anti-American agenda. Why? Because the Department of Education has been an absolute success at reframing the history of America as somehow horrible and hateful. We should hate American history. Yeah, okay, but you are essentially benefiting from the hard work of Americans from the past, and you hate this system and you want to bring it down to its knees. Why not just go somewhere else and live the life that you want in a place that's already enacting the policies that you desire? That's essentially, that's all we're saying. Stop trying to change America. We like America the way it is. If you don't like America the way it is, we like the Constitution. You don't like it? Bye. If you want global, oh, you're a globalist? Bye. Israel first? No. Bye. Somalia first? Oh, bye. Go back to Somalia. Go live in Israel. Because no other nation is putting us first. You think Somalia is thinking about America first? Somalia is thinking of Somalia first. No other nation is putting another nation ahead of their own interest. We're the only ones that try to think that way. And we're the only one that have people here that want to promote that agenda. That is an absolutely insane mindset to have, that you think that other countries are more important than your own. How stupid must you be?
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
If I were, let's look at it logically. I make my salary, right? I pull in money every month. And I pay for another man's wife and children and neglect my own. What would you call me? Because men have done this in the past, right? They have side families. And when you come to the funeral and you find out that you have brothers and sisters from the woman, the side chick around the, on the other side of town, everybody's like, oh, grandpa was dipping. Pawpaw was dipping. He had divided loyalties. Now we understand why some nights he didn't come home. Why he would take 2-week vacations. And just be with his side chick on the other side of town. When he got really upset with mom, he would go home, go somewhere and not come back. Not deal with the problem. Oh, now it's all making sense. And for our country, it's all making sense. We're paying millions of dollars and billions of dollars in taxes, and it's all going to random LGBTQ plus plays in Uganda. Right? No, Uganda don't mess with that stuff, but they don't. But we're supposed to be like, what? We're supposed to think that it's a good thing that we're funding the world. That I work hard to fund the world. No, I don't want to fund Israel. I don't want to fund China. I don't want to fund any African nation. I don't want to fund Ukraine. I don't want to fund Iran. I don't want to fund Iraq. I don't want to fund whoever. Name the country. I don't want to fund them. Simple as that. Right? Just like I'm not going to fund somebody else's family. I'm not going to go to another man and say, hey, you know what, guy, I'm going to give you like 50% of my check. What? Yeah, you want my Bitcoin portfolio? I'll help you. Here, take this. Take this. This is for you and your family. No, don't worry about it. My family, they'll keep dealing with the, they're helping me to keep the house going, but they'll deal with with less money. It makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. Right? So we have these people. Let's see. We might close up shop on this one because it's after 8 o'clock. Yes, America first. Exactly what Paul said. Right there. Boom. America first. Right? America first. Okay. Now, oh man, I had so much stuff to talk about on this one. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Pronoun. Ooh, there's so much stuff that I'm going to leave this for another episode. I'm going to do a lot of this on a Saturday episode. I won't be on tomorrow, right? I know. What's up, brother Derek Franklin? Appreciate you, brother. Paw pulled the Ray Charles, right? I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh yeah. Yeah. But don't get me singing it here. All right, so I'm gonna close it up there because I have a bunch of other stuff to talk about in this rundown, and it's like 2 more topics, but I don't have enough time. I started late tonight, so we're gonna leave it. I had to take my nap, y'all. I'm old and I need my naps every now and then, right? All right, and we got to get ready. So we had some stuff to talk. We're gonna talk about Islam. We're gonna talk about ninja fatigue, but I'll save those for Saturday because they'll keep, and then we'll talk about whatever comes up in the Trumposphere. Right? In the Trumposphere on Saturday as well, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be something. Yeah, there's going to be something. Right? Now, y'all know the tagline. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Thank you to everybody that liked, commented, subscribed, and super chatted. I appreciate you all. We got over the goal. July's goal was 8,000 subscribers. Thank you to you guys, the guys that are in the chat and are trolling, hating, and some of you that are actually providing pushback. I appreciate you too, because you're helping that. Even though you may not be subscribed, you're helping this. You're helping this happen. Oh, Nick. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. I want to do this before I leave. Okay. I want to do this before I leave. That's the one last thing I wanted to do. You reminded me. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me find it. Here we go. Where was it? I'm gonna look for it. Because this is a really I'm going to find it. One more, y'all. Okay. Here it is. Yes. This was a good one. Where is it? Peter Robinson. I'm going to find it. Where is it? I didn't save it. All right. So hold on. This is the last one. Yes. All right. Here it is. This is one of my favorite tweets of the week, or X's, or post, or whatever you want to call it. Right? Nick reminded me. Right. Happy belated birthday. June 30th to Thomas Sowell, 95 years old, right? One of my favorite authors. Very instructive, very helpful, common sense. Brother! I know, right? He said put this in the bow tie font. Now, the reason why I'm not wearing a bow tie today is because it's a relaxing, it's a relaxing stream. Yes, relaxed stream. Okay, but I appreciate that super chat, brother. That, yes, in the bow tie fund. I do need to buy some more bow ties. I have like 19. I need to buy some more, but I haven't been. Yeah, but Thomas Sowell turned 95, right? Come on. And his wife is still by his side. They've been married since 1981. That's amazing. Okay, and they're both still alive. Both still kicking. Okay, so this is pretty awesome. So happy belated birthday. Thank you, Nick, for reminding me. I wanted to do that a couple of days ago and then I forgot. So, but that's not loony lefty fatigue. I don't want to put that on there. That's Dr. Thomas Sowell. So but he has helped many people be cured of their loony leftist ideals, right? So, yeah. His writings will live on. That's the amazing thing, right? The videos that he's produced and the writings that he's produced will continue to live on. So that's pretty awesome, right? And he'll continue to convert, right? With his simple, common sense approach, right? Yes, you're right about that, Nick. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I had that in the queue and I forgot all about it. But that's what happens. That's why great minds, right? Great minds. Yes, he is awesome. I'll let you look. He is the great mind. He is awesome. All right. Now, let's do this. Yes, that's right. The OG cure for liberalism and leftism nonsense. Exactly. All right. So we're going to close it up, everybody. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Happy 4th of July to you all. Celebrate America's birthday tomorrow. Be grateful for the country that you live in and the freedoms that you are afforded because of the Constitution. And don't try to subvert it. It's good for you. It's good for you. Take two articles of the Constitution and call us in the morning. Where's my pocket Constitution? It's around here somewhere. It's right. It's probably on it. Yeah, anyway. But until next time, be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. See y'all around. Bye.